the electronic logging device, the ELD, the harness. So depending on your make and model of the vehicle, and we'll figure that out for you here. So it'll come with the 6-pin adapter with the 9-pin harness, or it'll come with the OBD2 Y cable or harness, or just the 9-pin harness, J1939 harness itself. Quick start guide, like I was saying, and then the inspection guide for the officer. So rather than the drivers having to memorize all of this stuff, probably the easiest way to do it is keep it in the vehicle, in the glove box, wherever it would be most convenient, and then they could pull it out when they need it and give that to the inspector if they're ever stopped.
Okay, yeah, anyone let me know if you're not able to view my screen. Again, thanks, Jeremy, for going over all of that. What I'm going to do is review our ELD portal, and then I do have my tablet pulled up here where I'll actually be able to show you how to log into the Centrex ELD app and show you what the driver will be seeing when they're in the cab. We're going to start first with the ELD portal. Each user will have their own username and password to log in. Once you do log in, you're going to land on your company's information, first landing on the driver screen. All of the available tabs are over on the left-hand side, which you can see listed here. We'll kind of briefly go into each tab, show you what you can see regarding your fleet and your drivers. The first screen, again, this is the driver screen. To the right-hand side, you can see all of the drivers listed down below. You'll see what vehicle they're listed in, their status, last time contacted, so last time they logged into the Centrex ELD app, last position, and then from left to right, drive time, cycle time, when their next gain time is at. You can view when their next violation will be taking place, time until that next violation, and then finally all the way over to the right, uncertified logs. A certified log is basically the driver signing off on the log, like signing off on a paper log. Now being in an electronic form, they will need to certify their logs through the app. And it will show how many uncertified logs the driver will have. Obviously on this is a test environment here. We have quite a few uncertified logs. Test environment, we're actually not logging into a truck. This is more for display. So just keep that in mind even as we're working through viewing the portal here. You will also see too all the way over to the right if there is any current violation with the driver. You'll see that listed. You are able to view all of your drivers from this screen. You can filter by a specific driver if you'd like. You do have it available to filter by terminal and by active or inactive driver. If at any point the fleet manager, log auditor, admin, whoever's using the portal has any questions within the portal, we do have help and support available for you. On every screen, you'll see this help button in the upper right-hand corner. Now that we're looking at the driver's screen, let's say you had some questions regarding the capabilities of this screen. If you click the help button, it'll actually bring you to a guide to the driver's page. Gives you basically a general overview of the screen, showing all of its capabilities. If we were to scroll through here, here's some more information about the filtering. If you kind of scroll down below it, it goes more into the statuses of what you'll see for the drivers. And then that will adjust to whatever screen you're on. So the very next screen we're going to look at is the log screen. If you had questions with that, you can click the help button up above, and it will now adjust guide to logs page. Now it's giving you quick information about the log screen and what you can do with this screen. Within this log screen, you'll be able to select a driver. I'll just select myself here. You'll notice to the left-hand side, driver information, carrier info, vehicle information, and resources. All of this information can be put into your site for you. Resources down below, you are able to edit this information. You can see that you can actually enter in co-drivers as well, so if you do split seating. Over to the right-hand side, you'll notice the log itself. The grid view here, you can zoom in on the log if you'd like. This will keep up to 6 months worth of logs. To view previous logs, you can click anywhere in this date section here. It'll pop up a separate filter box for you. Again, you can filter back those 6 months, or you can just click the back arrow to view the previous log. Okay, we'll go back to today's date. Again, the grid view here, down below, it will show all transitions for the driver. Off duty, on duty, not driving, driving, and then also showing logging off. It will also show a remark if you were to cross state lines. If a driver was to put a remark into the log, you'll see that information listed in here as well. I did log in earlier this morning just to kind of populate a few remarks to show you what that would look like. You'll see in here, I actually connected to the ELD device. I have an ELD device at my desk I was able to connect to. So you'll see that kind of remark in the log as well, which is obviously very important. That's probably the biggest part of the ELD mandate is connecting to that ELD device. And I'll be able to show you that shortly from the app. It will record the odometer. It will show any violations. And then all the way over to the right-hand side, there's a spot for actions. Now, this is where log auditor would be able to come in and edit those logs. You can edit the status from here. You can add in a status from this line of icons up above, add in an exception. I'll just pick on myself again here. You can filter by terminal if you had multiple terminals entered in, and you can filter by date. I'm going to go back a custom range here. Let's see if we can pull some violations in just to show you what they look like. I'll run it to today's date and click apply. I have a few violations that I put in there. It was back on the 30th and on the 31st. So this is what it'll look like for you. You can filter by violation as well if you're looking maybe to target a specific violation, maybe looking at break violations, the 30-minute rest break violation. Down below, you'll be able to see it by date, by driver. You can see the violation by hovering over it, or you can click right into it as well. You can see on the 31st, I only had that one violation for the day. I went over my hours. You can add in documentation and notes into this violation. We do have an acknowledgement form available for you. This will load up separately in a Word document. We'll open this up and I'll show you this briefly here, where you can actually use this report. You can attach it to that violation, an acknowledgement form listing the driver's name, supervisor's name, nature of violation, and if any action needs to be taken. You can have the driver sign off on this, the supervisor sign off on this, save it to anywhere on your desktop. Then from there, you're able to attach it to any one of the violations, like specifically to the violation you had it set for. Down below the violation screen next, we'll just work all the way down the list here, is the unidentified driving event screen. Per the ELD mandate, each solution has to have a spot for unidentified driving events. This would be if the driver were to hop in the cab and start driving. If he drove for more than 3 minutes without logging into the app, it will record that information. It'll actually record all that information down below. What you can do then is go in and assign that unidentified driving event to that driver so it goes against his hours. Each solution has to have a spot for this. Easiest way to work through this screen, again, clicking on this help button up above, gives a brief description of what the unidentified driving event is, and then down below it shows you how to work through this screen, how you would go in and assign that event to the driver. Scroll back up. Below the unidentified driving events are reports. We do have some available reports for you. We'll kind of work from left to right here. Hours and miles report will list out the hours worked, miles driven by the driver. Edit logs report will show you how many edits were made to the logs, who made those edits, and then obviously the driver's information. Multiple driver log report will allow you to print out the original log. We have DVIR report. This will allow you to print out any pre-trip, post-trip inspections. You can load this up to give you a brief view of this. From here, once you click on DVIR report, it will let you filter by driver. I have a few pre-trip inspections entered in back on the 5th. If you wanted to print that or view that report, you would just click this PDF button all the way over to the right. Loads it up in a separate screen, and you can see the completed DVIR report with all the information listed up above. You can see the actual DVIR that I went through and clicked if there were any defects with any of the items inspected. Down below, I listed it as a satisfactory condition, signed off on the DVIR, and it attached the date as well. And I'll show you guys how that all works for the driver once we take a look at the app on my tablet. Down below, there's an hours worked report, literally hours worked by the driver. To the left, there's an IFTA report. That's still kind of in a beta test. This will obviously be your IFTA filing. And then over to the right-hand side, ELD CSV output file. If something were to go wrong out on the road when they are doing a roadside inspection, for some reason the officer is not able to access that information on the tablet, they can contact you, the fleet manager, the admin, supervisor, whoever, and you can use this ELD CSV output file. This is the exact same output file the officer uses to do that roadside inspection. So if something were to go wrong, they can be pointed back to the portal and use this output file.
Hey, Chris? Chris? Just that note on the IFTA, the company that we're using now in the interim is the ProMiles, is that correct?
That's correct. Yep, the IFTA report that has been put in here by the developers, it's going to be a similar mileage by state report. It's not going to be a completed file that you'll be able to use as an IFTA filing. It's more just an additional report for you to be able to view. Okay, down below the reports, DVIR history. This will list out all completed DVIRs. From this, it's a little bit different from the other screens. You're actually searching by equipment. You can search by drivers towards the middle here and search by dates. Again, I completed a few pre-trip inspections the other day, one for a vehicle and one for a trailer. It will list out by equipment the number of defects listed in this column here. You'll notice there's a green, a yellow, and a red color. The driver is able to list out a priority rating when he's using the app. Green would be a low priority, yellow medium, red high. So if he was inspecting something, maybe he was inspecting something with the brakes, he listed it as a high priority rating. In this defect column, you would see a number 1 here in the red. Over to the right, there's a spot for repairs. If the repairs were necessary, you're able to enter that information in here and it'll save into this column. It will attach a DVIR number to the inspection, shows who did the inspection, what type of inspection it was, date it was created, again, what type of vehicle it was for, and then the reported address as well. You can open up the DVIR from this screen by clicking the plus button. Click again, it opens it up for the truck. Here are the items that were inspected. Air compressor, battery, you can see everything listed down below. Again, if there was a defect, let's say, for example, there was a defect with the air compressor, you would see a number here. It would either be in green, yellow, or red. Let's say that an air compressor was listed with a low priority rating. It was listed with a green rating here. All the way over to the right-hand side, you'll be able to update the details on that air compressor defect. You can go in, and when you click in here, you can enter in if repairs were made, enter in a repair order number, enter any kind of notation down below. The next time the driver goes into that truck, truck number 1, Next time that I were to log into here and I try to do a DVIR for this vehicle, I would see that updated detail. I would see that repairs were made, there's the repair order number, and if there was any kind of notes added to that DVIR. If repairs are not necessary, you guys would have the ability to select this button from here. The driver would then, again, he would see that the next time he logs in. Down below the DVIR history, there's a spot for malfunctions and data diagnostics. That's really used on a support side, on our side, if anything were to fail when you were out on the road, if any information was not taken in from the ELD device that required information to make you compliant with the ELD mandate itself, it would be listed in this section in here. We would be able to go in and see that on the 5th there was some missing information in truck number 1. This is the driver, and any kind of remarks that were entered in, data diagnostic remarks. This is more used on a support side for us to go in and see when that event took place. Obviously, I have a lot of missing diagnostic information because I'm not in a truck. I'm just using a device that's powered on at my desk. And finally, there's a spot for to be able to view log edits. It's very similar to the log edit report. Reject it, or if it's outstanding, that means he's never went in and did anything with that notification yet. So you guys would be able to see that information by using this tab here. I'll pause for a second here. Does anyone have any questions with the ELD portal before I move over to the app?
No questions being asked at this time.
Thanks, Jeremy.
Yep.
I'm going to load up my tablet here. Make this large so it kind of covers the screen. Okay. So now everyone should be seeing my tablet at this point. To get a driver started, to be able to log in and use the e-log, the Centrix ELD app, they'll first need to download the free Centrix ELD app from the Google Play Store. Click on the app and launch it. The driver will have his own username and password to log in. They can save the password if they like, so they don't need to enter it in every single time. Just make sure I have mine entered in correctly. And they're going to log in. It's going to start to authenticate. It's going to start to sync that account information back to the home portal. You'll see that back on the home portal that the driver is logging into the app, that he's starting to prepare his logs for the day. And it will load up his home screen for him. You'll notice towards the bottom, I am authorized to use personal use, personal conveyance moves, and yard moves. That's something that we can set up each driver with. So they can create a yard move if they were making a move, obviously, to unload. So this is the home screen for the driver. First thing that they'll need to do is select what truck and trailer they're in. Because I've used the app before, it recognizes me and it recognizes that I'm in truck 1, trailer 1. If I need to change that information, you can click on the truck itself, the truck icon, and you can change that info right here, switching that information. First thing the driver will need to do once he's logged in and he's viewing this home page is connect to the ELD device that's installed in the truck. That black box that Jeremy showed you before with all of that available cabling and hardware. What the driver will need to do first time is click the connect button. You can see up above there's a notification bar that will it notifies me that I'm not connected to the ELD device. Also, this icon here, it's an X, that'll actually change once I get connected. We'll work through this here. I'm going to connect to the ELD device that I have at my desk. Driver will need to click connect. He's doing a manual connection. It'll automatically select the type of device that it is. It's a geometric device. So at this point, he doesn't need to do anything here. Before I go further, I just want to let you know that we do have a driver guide for this, a connection guide. I believe Jeremy showed it on a previous screen. So we do have instructions for the driver to use this. I'm going to click next. What it's going to do, because it's Bluetooth, it's going to search for that ELD device. I'm just going to search for that ELD device that's at my desk right now, and hopefully it'll bring it in. I believe it was device 2.1. Let me try connecting to that device. There we go. And I connected. We can set this up when you're searching for that Bluetooth device via, or I should say that geometric device via Bluetooth. Instead of listing it as the serial number on the device, we can have it listed as maybe truck 1 ELD, truck 2, however you'd like. We're able to go into your portal and manage the connection settings for you. For me, I just pulled up the available serial number that I have at my desk. I'm connected now at this point. You see the notification bar goes away up top. That symbol before that was an X, now it's a projecting satellite signal. I'm connected to the ELD device. Now the way that it works for the driver, if I were to fire up the truck at this point, it'll automatically move me into a on-duty, not driving status. If I start driving and I go over 5 miles an hour, it'll automatically move me into a driving status. If I stop for more than 6 minutes, it'll move me back into an on-duty, not driving status. So all of those transitions, they're all automated at this point. It's using that ELD device that's connected to the truck, and then it in turn will show up on this e-log application. I'll move myself into an on-duty, not driving status just to show you what that looks like. They can create an event by clicking on this truck icon here. Again, we'll just go on-duty, not driving. We'll just do this. I'll add in that I'm doing this for testing. Click OK. So this is what it'll look like for the driver when they're on duty, not driving. The truck turns green. You'll see that they have their time remaining until they need to take a break. Down below this tab here, there is a spot to take a break. If they're ready to take their break at this point, they would just select here. And this timer versus 8 hours will be 30 minutes. And it'll start to click down for them. Again, letting them know how much time they have remaining in their 30-minute rest break. At this point, now that I'm on duty not driving, if I'm just starting my day at this point, I could click the DVIR button if I need to do a pre-trip inspection. So we'll do that, but you can see the DVIR button down below. If I click here, it will load the DVIR inspection section. From here, I'm able to select what vehicle trailer I'm doing the inspection for. It'll also allow me to select the form I want to use. Now, every account is set up with basic forms to get you started, tractor, trailer forms. If you guys have your own custom DVIR form, we can help get that entered into your site so then the driver would be able to select that when he's ready to do an inspection. If you need to switch any of the up here, yes?
A question was asked about the Bluetooth pairing.
Yes.
In terms of the device that's in the truck, the ELD that's in the truck,
yes.
Will other people be able to link to that Bluetooth device?
Not
other drivers?
Oh, other drivers, yeah. As long as that driver has his own username and password, he logs into the Centrex ELD app, he can connect to that ELD device. And
correct me if I'm wrong, not more than 2 people can be linked at it at a time?
Correct. For co-driving.
Yep.
Any other questions?
There is. I'll take it. It's an easy one.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yep, no problem. So we'll continue on. If we need to switch any of this information, you can see the switch button here. I'm ready to start my inspection. It's a pre-trip. You can switch to post-trip from here. Who's doing the inspection, driver, mechanic, or other? If I'm ready to do the inspection, I click Inspect. It's going to load up that DVIR form for me. It's going to show all of the available areas that I have to inspect. Again, we can get your own custom form in here. This form has 46 items on the truck, 14 items on the trailer. What the driver would need to do is he would go through clicking once for thumbs up, twice for thumbs down. Now that I'm listing this coupling device as a defect, remember you can list that with a priority rating. You see this triangle here. If I click here, you'll see those colors again, low, medium, or high. Maybe there's a high priority rating on this defect here. Once this DVIR is finished, you guys would see that back on the home portal where you would be able to view that and go in and enter in any kind of repair information when it's made. The driver will also have the capability of taking a picture of that defect by clicking on this camera icon here. And all the way over to the right, they can click on this dialog box if they want to enter in more notes regarding this defect. So I would work through this DVIR, again, thumbs up, thumbs down, or you can click a third time if it's not available. I would do the same for the trailer. Once I'm finished with all those items, after that, it will save automatically the next time they go in and do a DVIR. If they need to change it, you can see there is a change signature button here. Once all of these areas are completed, the driver would be able to click Finish DVIR. It will generate a PDF within the app, and then it would send that PDF back to the home portal. We can also set this up to have that PDF sent over to an email recipient. That's kind of a per driver tool. So if you wanted a specific driver's DVIR to be sent when it's completed over to a transportation manager, maybe even someone within the shop, so they get that DVIR and they'll be able to see if there's any kind of defects within that inspection, they can get that automatically emailed over to them. I'm just going to leave this form as is. You can see it. You can't even select Finish DVIR until everything is finished here. But again, presentation purposes, we'll just work back to the home screen to view some of the other available tools that the driver will have. The rest of the buttons down below here, if they were to click Recap, shows hours worked recap. Roadside inspection, DOT officer stops them, they get stopped at the scale, whatever it may be. Click roadside inspection button. Officer will have two options, either to start the review, at this point reviewing previous 7 consecutive days worth of logs, or doing a data transfer. They can get that transferred over by email, Bluetooth, USB, however the officer would like. At this point, he's probably just going to start the review by clicking Start Review button, and it will take him back to the log screen where he would just need to click this back arrow and review the last 7 days worth of logs. He'll see all that log information, transitions down below. Again, if something were to go wrong, issues happen with the tablet itself, he could contact the fleet manager or someone who has access to the ELD portal and use that CSV output file. There is an options button here below Recap. If I click on that, it'll allow me to obviously access more tools within the app, switching the equipment, adding a remark into the log, viewing gain time when my gain time will come back. I can transfer logs from here as well. back up to the top, I can add in shipping information, bill of lading or manifest number. I can log on a co-driver, or I can switch a co-driver. The driver also can add in an exception. If he clicks the exception button, maybe he's short haul. He's operating within 100 to 150 air miles. Clicks the checkbox, clicks OK, and it will adjust to his log. And then down below, there's a document button. If the driver needs to add any kind of documentation into his log, what he can do is click the document button, click the add button, and it'll turn on the camera on his tablet. I ended up taking a picture of my keyboard, just showing how that tool works. At that point, once it's added in, you can label that as a scale ticket. There's a number of different options that you're able to enter in, noting that, and then it will save to the log. We'll return to the hours of service screen. To the right of the options button, when you click on logs, it shows the grid view for today, driver information. If there's any DVIR info, and you can see I do have one in progress. If I wanted to go back to that DVIR at that point, I could click this three button icon, go in and view it, or I can remove. And then down below, this is where the driver can certify his logs. He would go in, click the certify button. It will send a notification that he's agreeing to his entries are correct and true, and then that will save to the application. And you'll see that back on the home portal as well. We looked at the DVIR button. The last button, the shift and cycle button here, when I click on this, this is the actual screen that the driver will be seeing when he's driving. Per the ELD mandate, when they're in a driving mode, they need to have a lock screen populated. Obviously, don't want the driver going in and changing anything, working with the application, driving safety purposes, right? So this is the screen that they'll see when they are driving. These gauges will click down. They will turn yellow when they have 3 hours left in any of their cycles here. They'll turn red when they have 1 hour left as well. We can set up drivers to receive a notification when they're within 1 hour of a violation, and when that violation takes place, they can also receive a notification as well. Same thing on the ELD portal side. We can set up users to receive a text message or email alert 1 hour before the violation and right when the violation takes place. We do have help and support available for the driver. Similar to the ELD portal, they click this three-line icon up above, click help and support. It will take the driver out to our learning center. From here, let's say he forgot how to do a DVIR. We have a section for that. If you click this DVIR section here, click the arrow, it'll actually give him screenshots, screen by screen, where he needs to go to complete that DVIR form. Here's an example, thumbs up, thumbs down, kind of the stuff that we reviewed a little bit here. Example of a picture taken of the defect and how he can save that onto the DVIR. DVIR is a popular spot that the driver uses. We have a spot how to enter in a document into the log, switching equipment, so you can see all of the available items here. I'll actually, I think the last thing that I can show here, I'm going to click Start Brake to show you what that looks like. Are you sure you want to start your brake? Click Yes. It puts me back into an off-duty status. And you can see now the time remaining that I have in my 30-minute break.